Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Nova Life, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a What's on my Kindle video. I actually really love doing this because I'll get to talk about the books that I've downloaded from KU, some ARCs that I may have, and just chat about like what I want to read in the next like 2 months or so. I will definitely refresh my Kindle before Thanksgiving time to download all the holiday romances, but these are all the cozy, dark academia, gothic, fantasy, all that kind of stuff that I want to read more in the next 2 months. But before we dive into that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. You guys know I am very open about my mental health here on my channel and over on my Instagram, and I will say that BetterHelp makes getting started with therapy so much easier. They make things so easy with their online tools and getting started and taking a quiz and getting matched with a therapist. They have a platform where it gives people a very safe place to chat about anything that's going on in their lives. I will say I'm someone who has anxiety, so that kind of led me to the therapy route to kind of help with that. I will say at first therapy really helped me with my anxiety and managing that, but also like talking to a therapist online helps me in my personal life outside of being anxious and things that make me anxious. They really helped me with like work things and personal growth and, you know, just being the best self that you can. It's really easy to talk with an expert about really anything to help you with your personal growth as well. So I know a lot of people think that therapy is just for people that have anxiety or depression or any other mental illness, but honestly therapy can help anyone. So I have used BetterHelp in the past and I really enjoyed it because they have a lot of different things that makes it easy for you to talk to your therapist. So once you're matched with your therapist, you can chat with them via chat, via phone call, and or a video chat. I do like the video chat option. I prefer to use that when I can, but sometimes when I'm too busy, I can just send a quick message in the chat and my therapist will get back to me. They also have this new journaling feature, which is really cool, that allows you to kind of like journal and get your thoughts down. Like I said, in a very safe place. They make sure it's all confidential. So if you want to check out BetterHelp, you can do so with the link in the description box below or going to betterhelp.com/novalife to get 10% off. I will say that even if you just try it out for the first time, you will be actually like surprised by how much you benefit and how much your way of thinking kind of like changes after just talking to a therapist. It's really nice to have a therapist that really understands you and you get matched with someone relatively quickly with BetterHelp, and they just have all of these cool resources in their app and or their website. If you want to check out BetterHelp now, click the link in the description box below and it'll save you 10%. Now let's dive into all of the books that I have on my Kindle. So I have my phone right here just because it goes a little bit quicker than my Kindle, but I will say I saw that they have brand new Kindle that literally just dropped and I'm actually very excited. I'm probably gonna get the colored one. So if you guys want a like full video of me unboxing it, chatting about it, all of that stuff, let me know. Let me know because I'll order it and it'll be shipped and delivered around the 30th when it releases. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. Okay, so I'm going back to like the very bottom. So like the oldest ones that I have on my Kindle that I've downloaded. I'll tell you if they're from Kindle Unlimited or if I bought them or if they're ARCs, because I do have a couple of those all mixed in. Okay, so the first one is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. So this is a dark academia, I think, type fantasy romance, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a dark gothic fantasy romance. Look at me. Okay, so it takes place August 1955. Now, this is a very long book. It's 772 pages. I want to get to it before Halloween because it's on my October TBR. But I think this is kind of like a love triangle. It says it is not a typical love triangle. It's gothic, historical, paranormal, horror, and fantasy. So it has all of those things, which I do love. Listen, I do love a good book with all of those things. So I'm very excited for that one. It's literally a high priority for October because it's on my October TBR and I really want to get to it and I've heard really great things. So the next one I have is one that I bought. I actually pre-ordered the ebook, and that is Wickedly Yours by Jennifer Chipman, which is book 2 in the Witches of Pleasant Grove series, but I also have out on Kindle Unlimited Spookily Yours. So Spookily Yours is the first in the series and that's in Kindle Unlimited. Well, they're both in Kindle Unlimited, but her cat is a demon and then she falls in love with him. So it's a spicy open door Halloween themed novel. It's only 246 pages, so it's relatively short. And then Wickedly Yours is, I think, more of like a fantasy. Yeah, it's a standalone paranormal romance. A marriage of convenience between a witch who loves to bake and a demon prince who falls in love with her. So that one is 364 pages, so it's a little bit longer. But I do want to get to those two. I've heard like they're super just cute, adorable books, and sometimes I just want a good, easy read, and those hit that spot. Okay, so the first one that I have downloaded in Kindle Unlimited is only because it's free to read and listen in Kindle Unlimited. So if you guys don't know this, if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, there are a decent amount of romance books, well, a lot of books, but in the romance genre that has the audiobook included in your Kindle Unlimited subscription. I have My Rules by T.L. Swan. I was sent the paperback from the publisher and I was like, ooh, I don't have time to physically read. I went to check to see if it was on Kindle Unlimited. It was, but it's also free to listen. I got the audiobook. You have to keep it in your Kindle Unlimited library, like the ebook, to have it in your Audible account with the audiobook. I hope that all makes sense. But basically this is the second book in the Kingston Lane series, and it is about her neighbor who is also a player that she like asks like, hey, be my wingman so you can like point out all the other players in the world. I'm trying to find like a good guy type of a thing, and they fall in love. Just seems really cute. Seems a little bit on the long side if I'm being like 100% honest, but I'm willing to give it a shot if it's on audio. The next one I have is Fireline by Maggie Gates. So I read Downpour by Maggie Gates during the summer, and I loved it because that one had disability rep. I don't think this one has a disability rep in it or anything like that, but I'm very excited because I think this series got picked up. I could be wrong, but this is an enemies to lovers romance, and you do see these characters in the second book. I love the cast of characters that were introduced in the second book, so yeah, I definitely want to read this one. It doesn't tell me how many pages it is, just like briefly, but I definitely have that one. Now, I have 2 Zodiac Academy books downloaded, so I have book 8 and book 9. I have the audio book. Well, I downloaded book 8 and I was able to whisper sync the audio for only $7.50, so it's less than a credit. So I got the audiobook of book 8. I think in November I'm gonna try and put them on my November TBR to make a priority to finish out this series, and then I can start the Dark Fae series, and then I can move on to their new book. Tentatively, that might not be in that order, but I want to do all of those things, so I definitely want to finish out the Zodiac Academy series for sure. That's definitely something I need to do because I'm tired of having it on my TBR. Speaking of Dark Fae, I have the Kindle Unlimited book of Dark Fae, which is the first book in this series. It's like a spin-off of the Zodiac Academy series. I don't know which one came first, but Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac Academy. So I think it's a Why Choose dark fantasy romance. I have the special editions actually on my shelf, and I'm trying to read down my physical TBR. If you guys would have saw my Friday video where I go through every single book on my shelf, yeah, I want to read down my physical TBR. I do have a couple fantasy romances. This one I actually heard really good things about, so if you've read it, please let me know in the comments down below because I want to know where to put it like on my priority fantasy list, if that makes sense. The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. So I'm pretty sure this is a Hades and Persephone kind of a thing, because she says that our female character, she lives in San Francisco, and that's Zeus's patron city. And then she apparently gets tangled with a different god, Hades. Apparently the god of the underworld has entered the Crucible, which is the deadly contest the gods hold to determine a new ruler to sit on the throne of Olympus. And instead of fighting their own battles, the gods name mortals to compete in their stead. And apparently Hades chose her. Seems interesting. I don't always like trials and stuff. It has to be done very uniquely, like Phantasma. That's like a trial in like a really creepy house type thing. Like that was fine for me. I really like that book. So if you've read it, please let me know if that book is good. I also have Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. So I've heard this one go around YouTube. I actually saw my friend Rachel from Ravenhead Reader read this, and she said it was really good. But then I saw a couple people on Book Talk reading it, so I did order the paperback. It should be coming any day now. I'm very excited. It's a 500-page book, but it just says you know what? I'm not even going to read the synopsis because I think Rachel said go into it without like knowing much. So I just know it's fantasy romance. That's all I'm gonna know. I'm gonna go into it blind. If you guys would love to see a reading vlog, let me know for that one. And then I have a book that I am like 20% into, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish it, and that is Broken Beginnings by Cleo Evans. Okay, you know what? I do have to finish it. This is on my October TBR. I'm actually in the middle of like 6 books right now. I just have been like trying to claw myself out of a reading slump, so I don't want to continue on reading something that's gonna put me back into that slump. Like I feel like I'm coming over the edge of this slump, if that makes sense. So I put this down when I was in the middle of my reading slump, and I haven't gotten back to it, but this is the first book in a small town romantic suspense. I think I've talked about this previously. And then I have Frida McFadden's The Boyfriend. I am reading this in October. I picked it for a TBR prompt. It'll be my first Frida McFadden psychological thriller. I think it is. That's all I know. Then I have a hockey romance, Rink Mates by Nova Banks. I saw this cover and I fell in love with it, and I just love a hockey romance. So whenever I'm back into that hockey romance mood, I will pick this up. It's on the darker side, but apparently the hero needs a PR fix, and she's helping him with that. Now, so I have Peaches and Honey by Rita. This is actually in Kindle Unlimited. I thought this was a tried published book, and it might be, but I can get it in Kindle Unlimited. And I just heard some like good things about it. I heard it was a good, like, just fun book like for spooky season. So it's a shape-shifting god and mortality granting Peach and a woman gifted with forever. So it's giving the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue vibes. That's what I was getting from it, and I really love that book, so I want to read it. Then I have Guild by Raven Kennedy. I do have the physical book on my shelf, which is why it's on my Kindle. I don't really hold paperbacks well, but I do want to get to this at some point. If you guys want to see a reading vlog of this series, because I've heard that with this book, it's a whole series thing, right? You have to get through like the whole series to really appreciate it, and the first book isn't that great, and I previously DNF'd it, so as long as I know that this series will pay off, I don't mind pushing through. So if you guys want to see that reading vlog, let me know. I also have a new to me author on here. That's Naomi West. It's Scarred King. So this is a Bratva Mafia book, and what if your boss asked you to have his baby with one catch? You have to do it the old-fashioned way. So it's book one of a duet, and I think the second book is out. I actually got this as a rec when Jess and I filmed our top 100 books on Amazon. We go through that every so often, and this one, the cover intrigued me. I love the cover, and two, it sounded fun, and I haven't read a Mafia in a long time. Now, an arc that I have on my Kindle is The Striker by Anna Huang. So you guys are seeing this the day that The Striker comes out, so you can grab it in Kindle Unlimited. I will have the link in the description box below, but I'm very excited to dive into this to see everything that Anna has put into this book. All I know is our female character, she's a ballet teacher, or she's a ballerina. She's injured, and she's dealing with that, and then our hero is a soccer player, and it is his teammate's sister, I think, but they don't like each other on the team. So I'm very excited about this one. I do have The Fake Wedding Project by Pippa Grant. This is also because it is free to listen in KU, so I got the ebook just so I can get the audiobook in my Audible subscription. I do have From Here to Eternity by A.L. Jackson downloaded. I was able to get a paperback arc, but I never finished it in time for release because it came like just a couple of days before release. So I'm actually 50% in the middle of From Here to Eternity, so I do hope to finish it probably before you guys see this video, but I definitely want to read this one. The cover dragged me in. I love it. The last one I want to talk about is False Gods by C.W. Farnsworth. So I read Fake Empire by C.W. Farnsworth quite a while ago, and I loved that book. I had the best time. It's two billionaires. She's a billionaire, he's a billionaire, so it's like she doesn't need his money at all in the slightest. And I fell in love with it. I read the second book and it was okay. It wasn't my favorite as the first, but this one is an American It Girl and Britain's Most Eligible Bachelor. And so it says first impressions are supposed to last, but they're losing track. Apparently it's summer in the Hamptons. I'm super excited. And oh, I think it's like a fake thing. They have to fake date or they put on acts and stuff. I just really like this series, and it's book 3 in the series. I think it's the last one she's writing in that series. So because I'm a fan, you guys know I have to read that book at some point. I also just love a good billionaire book. You know what I mean? I just love it. So those are all the books that I have on my Kindle that I cannot wait to read in the next month and a half or so. Let me know in the comments down below a book that you want to read. You want me to read like ASAP, like move them to the top of my TBR. Tell me, please let me know in the comments down below. If you've made it this far, leave me a crown emoji for a false god, even though it's not a king, but she's American royalty, so we'll go with that. A crown in the comments down below if you've made it this far and you want to let me know. Once again, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is BetterHelp. Like I said, if you want to check out BetterHelp and get started on your therapy journey, click the link in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.